sorry about that, this part too. Anyway, they had apartment buildings and business offices down the bottom half of it, and we lost a lot of very many lives that night, that day. It was about early this morning. Okay, right now it's about 12:30. This is about the time when the second plane went to the second tower. The first plane went to the tower about 9 something, about 3 hours ago roughly. And the second plane went to the tower about this time, 12:30, about 11, 12:30-ish, 1 o'clock-ish. I think it was about between 11 and 12. I'm going to say about this time. And it saddens me to even talk about it, because that was the only thing I remember. I was not there at the time in New York. I was here in West Virginia. I went to Gore Middle School. For those of you Harrison County kiddos, I'm pretty sure your moms that were raised up in Harrison County, your moms and your dads, they went to Gore Middle School. I guarantee I probably went to Gore Middle School with your mom and dad. Guarantee it. I'm 34 years old. So if your mom and dad's 34 years old, as young as probably 31 or 30, I probably went to school with them at some point. But I'm just sitting here thinking about that, and it just saddens me just thinking about the fact that that's what happened. Now, I don't know what's going on right now as we speak. 9/11, since that happened, it's just, coincidental that it happened on September 11th, 2001. And it's just coincidental that all that happened like that. And I'm like, damn, I was in reading class, me, my buddy Ronnie Payne, our buddy R.J. Strada, Corey Yeager, Jason Swagger, and I believe there was one other kid, and I can't remember his name. He kept spitting on everybody and then ended up getting sent to the office because he spit on everybody. He kept being an asshole. Anyway, and then we had Craig Wright in there too. Corey or Craig, one of the two fell asleep, and Ronnie took his books and smashed the books in front of him. On the desk in front of him. BAM! As loud as he could. Got in trouble. I turned around, running, took my math book and smacked the desk that he was laying at, that he was sleeping at right in the corner. I didn't get yelled at, but I didn't get out of my seat either. Well, Miss Friend's like, okay. And then me and Ronnie, we was talking back and forth with Corey and Jason, and Craig was talking with us, and RJ. We were sitting there talking, and we got in trouble. We all got yelled at. About that time, it was around probably 9 a.m. or so, maybe 9:30-ish. Mr. Props, the school principal, I think his name was Edward Props, something like that. Can't remember his full name. But Judy Friend was the teacher, I believe her name was Judy. Miss Friend, she was the reading teacher. We had 8th grade reading. And we got in there and got settled down. We heard the announcement come across the thing. We had just, Miss Friend, we was in homeroom. I'm sorry, we wasn't in reading class, we was in homeroom. Because RJ was not in our class, and Corey was, RJ and Craig was in a different class at that point. Me and Ronnie was in most of the classes together. And there was a couple of the girls. I think Charlie Swagger and Tara Bailey was in that class, I believe. I don't remember all the females that was there, so my apologies to those that I forget. Female-wise, I never hung out with the females up there. Especially in that class. I just chose to hang out with the males. But anyway, Props come across the intercom saying, everybody, we have a unfortunate tragic event going on in this world as we speak today. If you guys would turn on your headsets to take channel 5 or channel 3 or something like that, and you guys can watch live as you see what's going on with the world today. Today, we have gotten attacked, and I believe we got attacked by Afghanistan. It was Osama bin Laden that caused that to happen. We had suicide airplane pilots. Well, supposed to be suicide bombers is what they were. But their goal was to attack the White House. And two ended up in the towers. You got idiots that can't fucking drive for shit and don't know the goddamn directions. You got one that hit. Now, people tell me it hit in Pittsburgh. that plane, I think it was United Flight 93, I believe. I think that was the right one. It did not hit in Pittsburgh. It hit in Parkersburg. 5 minutes outside one of my former friend's house that lived up in the area. It landed in the field just out behind, just like 2 or 3 fields out behind her farm. That's how close it was to her farm. Okay? I'm not going to give her name out because that's no one's business anyway. But anyway, we're sitting there watching, and you could see the towers falling down. And by the time we got the video turned on, you could see the news. Miss Frank got the thing. We just sat there. We just watched it. We did not even leave class. The bell rang. Nobody changed classes. We all stayed there and watched that TV broadcast. All of us. We watched it from the time it started until school was done. That was part of a lesson in history, basically what Mr. Prompt was getting to us. This is how life is. This is what happens in real life. We think as 8th graders, oh, we can become millionaires. We can go rob a bank. Nobody's going to do anything. Yeah, we might go to jail, but we'll get out of it. We never think of the possible realities of being attacked by terrorists. So, to be honest, that was something that really it didn't traumatize me. It just kind of made me wonder, what the hell is this world coming to? We know this world's coming to a tragic end. And that's one of the signs. At that time, I went to church. When I seen that, I remember I prayed about it, and I kept asking God. I said, why would you let this happen? What was the point for this? Well, there were a lot of people that lost their lives. There were a lot of people that were lost in the rubble. Unfortunate. There were firefighters that was up in there, and police officers that was up in there that lost their lives tragically. Me and Ricky, we were going to try to go up to Ground Zero and stuff this year, but we couldn't make it to work, and we didn't have a job at that point. So, here in probably next year, I'm going to have 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th and 13th. I'll come back 12th. I'll come back day after 9/11. So we're going to leave 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll stay up for 4 days. We'll give us time to tour New York. And then 9/11, they do a big special memorial there at where the towers once used to stand. And they call it Ground Zero. And they have it all fenced off with as big as that area was. The subway still runs underneath there, according to what I'm told. I don't know how true that is. We're about to find out. I'm going to go ahead and close this video. I'll be back on for video 3. Because I'm about to run out of time.